After decades of war and upheaval, Cambodia's economy is booming. With strong foreign investment and an explosion in tourism, property prices are spiraling to dizzy heights. Just 4 years ago, prime residential property in the capital, Phnom Penh, cost $500 per square meter. Today, the value has shot up 6 times. But as foreign money flows in, some 150,000 Cambodians are facing forced eviction. I'm Chan Tao Cho, and on this special edition of 101 East, we ask if Cambodia is a country up for sale.
Cambodia's land is for sale. We cannot let this happen to our country.
If they evict us, we do not know where to go.
As the governor, I'm criticized a lot. On one side, I have to look after the people. On the other, I have to encourage development.
After years of fighting and instability, Cambodia is witnessing a period of unprecedented economic growth. Investors from all over the world are flocking here, sinking billions of dollars into various projects, including land development.
You can get a perpetual lease now, so you can get a release that renews and renews and renews to operate your business out of.
A businessman here since 1993, Anthony Alderson, has seen great changes since he first arrived.
A way to gauge foreign investment is you only have to go and see the lawyers' offices. The lawyers' offices are very busy at the moment, so I'm glad to say that they would almost say that the economy has really turned into a developing economy now.
Developing, but at what cost? With Cambodia rushing to rival Thailand in the lucrative tourism industry, foreign investment is flowing in. But the development that follows is bulldozing the rights of locals, evicting them from their homes. Under Cambodian law, anyone who has lived on a plot for 5 years can call it their own. But according to Amnesty International, at least 150,000 Cambodians live under the threat of eviction. The Prime Minister denies the problem is widespread.
In Cambodia, there are millions of families. Among those, how many families have land disputes? I think maybe 99% have security of land ownership, as they have land titles and receive land distribution since the 1980s. So for them, this is not an issue.
In the capital Phnom Penh, the Dekra home community sits on prime real estate in the heart of the city. An old billboard shows a broken promise. Prime Minister Hun Sen pledging to help 100 poor communities, including this one, with new developments. Instead, they face resettlement and intimidation. Cheng Navi said things turned nasty after she rejected an $8,000 offer for her family to move out of their 60 square meter shop house.
They tried to force me to move out too, but the compensation was very low and unreasonable. I was told to either take it or relocate to a site far away from the city. We'll agree to move out only if the compensation is closer to the recent market price.
Although prime residential property in the city costs about $3,000 per square meter, the governor of Phnom Penh says the compensation offered is fair.
They are living on the footpaths and we want to help them. So we agreed to give them $8,000. But they still want more compensation, equal to others who are living on private land in the same area. So why should we pay this demand? They are living on the street and we need the street for development.
Some question if the municipality can represent the people's interests when it is also helping the developer to negotiate terms. Nali Piloj is the director of Likado, a local non-governmental organization for human rights.
In Cambodia, with regards to the private sector and the government branch, what we're seeing in practice is often these two are merged. So whether it's a business, whether it's land, often the private sector will buy law enforcement to evict people, to threaten people.
Degraham residents claim this video shows thugs stoning the village after negotiations soured.
We had a court order, but the people refused to move. We didn't want to use force, but they got violent first. We cannot stand by and let that happen.
Recently, the method of alleged intimidation changed. Cheng Navi says a garbage truck regularly dumps trash next to the market near her home.
These days, it's terribly dirty and smelly. Maybe this is so that they can report this area is so dirty and has no sanitation. Then it will be easier for them to get us to move.
The residents here have seen with their own eyes how futile resistance can be. Their neighbors from the Sambok Chap community used to live here until 6th of June 2006. That day, more than 1,000 families were marched onto trucks with whatever they could gather and dumped on an empty plot of land more than 20 kilometers away. Without sanitation, electricity and clean water, they were left to fend for themselves. Two years on, this is how they live.
Everything is hard. No clean water, no electricity, no food. It's very hard. The government promised to settle our land issues. They said this is only temporary, but we have been dumped here for 2 years now. I've given up hope on the government. We've been living here all this time, but I've never seen any government official visit us.
Likado sends doctors here 3 times a week. So based on the doctors' reports, what are the main health problems that people face here?
Due to the extremely poor hygienic and sanitary conditions in the camp, it's mainly skin diseases, respiratory tract diseases, all sorts of diarrhea.
So what are the problems they face when it comes to needing to receive prompt medical attention?
It's very little. There is no real medical care in the camp as such. So they rely heavily on support provided by the NGO doctors. And if you see the size of the camp, it is very difficult for this small group to provide comprehensive health care for the entire population here. Especially during the rainy season with the increase of dengue cases, there have been many cases reported to us of children dying of dengue, which it was too late basically to provide medical care to them.
We recognize that we have a problem, but it is difficult because of our budget. The difficulty is that we have documents in hand that state there are only 800 households. But we went there and found 1,600 families. So what can we do about that? Now at least we have built a road for them.
Some of the slum dwellers are believed to be squatters and not eviction victims. According to one Cambodian realtor, they've settled here hoping to benefit when the other villagers receive compensation.
Villagers now also, sometimes also, they are smart also. It looks like a cancer disease. Like today, they have 100 family. Tomorrow, sometimes 120 family in that. So always like from day to day, always more number.
To try and get more?
Yeah, more benefit. Okay. That is also a little bit headache for developer also.
But Musukua of the opposition Sam Rainsy party questions what development means Cambodia style.
There is so much corruption. Deals with between government and investors that are very shady, not transparent at all.
I don't think the foreign investors would be foolish to invest their money and come looking for partnerships with locals if there was no transparency.
But NGOs remain unconvinced by these assurances of transparency.
It's the lack of enforcement and the lack of implementation of this law. Why respect it when you can make so much money by just grabbing land using often state apparatus, including the military?